Brothers and sisters, we are starting. We're going to, I think I like us meeting, I think I like us meeting at 7. Even though we said 6 at the time, I ask you to excuse me again while we use 7 o'clock. I ask you to excuse me. I promise you we'll be back on schedule tomorrow. But we'll take off at 6 o'clock and be able to keep the show. I want to thank you for coming on and join us tonight. We want to wait for brothers and sisters, other brothers and sisters to come on. And we have a very interesting subject tonight. Very interesting subject. So we're going to wait for our other brothers and sisters to come on and get on here for us to continue our lesson. That's what we're learning. We're learning lessons. These black people that are turning on you will put you in school, brothers and sisters. They are schooling us. Got us learning lessons today. So I'm happy to stand to the challenge as an authentic black man to teach the truth to our brothers and our sisters. But nonetheless, I'm very happy to be here with you. It's always a pleasure to come and talk to you today. And I promise you, I want to apologize for my tardiness. We've been a little late, but we'll be here on the correct time tomorrow. We'll definitely be here. We're going to wait for the other brothers and sisters to get on. Be patient. I'm thankful for you all being patient with me. I won't make it without you. Can't make it without you. Don't want to make it without you. Don't want to take this journey alone. And I heard some people say, excuse me, brothers and sisters, I heard some people declare that they hadn't been successful in getting on the show because they've been blocked. I believe that is as a result of the restriction that I was on in YouTube, and so they wasn't able to get on. And I pray, my desire, my prayer is that them not being able to get on wasn't the very thing that stopped them from hearing the show. We have recordings of earlier shows that hopefully they will feel comfortable in learning these things and getting on to see what we have to offer. We're talking about a very, very powerful subject tonight. And we say that there are agents hiding among us in plain sight. And brothers and sisters, that's the truth. So I don't want anyone to miss this. I don't want anyone to miss this. And so if you're out there, grab somebody, have them to come on the show. Definitely have them come on, bless us with their presence on the show so that we can get out this good information so that they'll be able to hear the very things that God has given us to give to you today. So we welcome them at this hour to be able to come and hear what thus says the Lord, what he has put in our mouth and on our tongues and in our mind to get the word out. So brothers and sisters, we are thankful to God to be here today. We're so thankful to God just to be here today. We've been starting late these past 2 days. And the reason for that is we're trying to get back in the motion to be here at 6. We've run into slight problems, but I tried to be here in the motions to be here at 6 o'clock. And so I appreciate your patience, because we've been starting late these past 2 days. But nonetheless, tomorrow we should be at the place where we're able to start at 6 o'clock and be here on time. Start at 6 o'clock and be here on time. So tomorrow we will certainly be meeting at 6 o'clock. And nothing will change us from doing that. We'll be here at 6 and we'll be on time. And I want to thank you for your patience. I want to thank you for your participation, and thank you for joining us and being with us, because without you, we can't be successful in getting the word out. So I definitely want to thank you for that. Don't forget to like, brothers and sisters, to hit the thumbs up, like, and don't forget to subscribe. We definitely want you to get others on the show to subscribe so that we can meet the 500 people mark. And after that, work on the 500 other people that will make this show successful. And we like to thank all of those that come on regularly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, because without you, I wouldn't have the confidence to continue on. And that's the truth. We may as well say it, brothers and sisters, if we can't do anything by ourselves, there's nothing that we can do by ourselves, but together we can do mighty things, can do great things. And so we've been starting late these past 2 days, but tomorrow, and I'll put it in the chat, if you will, we'll be starting at 6 o'clock. We'll be here starting at 6 o'clock. Back on schedule. Be back on schedule. I should say that. Be back on schedule to start at 6 o'clock. So that's a blessing. I'm happy about it. Brothers and sisters, today what we're talking about is going to be a rough, bumpy ride, but it's going to be the truth. And this truth that will help you and help me, because our eyes should be open. Jesus, when they took him to Nazareth, and he came to the hill of Golgotha, it's called the place of skull. Jesus, prior to that, had to prepare himself in the Mount Olives. And so when he was there, he told them to watch as well as pray. And brothers and sisters, that's what you and I have to do. We have to watch as well as pray, because just like in the day of Jesus, so as it is with us, we have agents hiding in plain sight among us. Agents hiding among us in plain sight. Plain sight. And you and I will never get around it. All we can do is embrace the fact that there are black people amongst us. I don't care what you do and how great a life you live. I don't care what you contribute. There are black people that you will never satisfy as long as you live, because they are programmed and satisfied to do their master's bidding and to do their master's will. And this is a fact, brothers and sisters. I hate talking like this, excuse me, but it's a fact. It's a fact of life that you have black people that, you have black people that put more trust in white people than they would put in you. More, doesn't matter what you do, the work that you do, doesn't matter. We have been programmed and conditioned. That's the truth. We have been programmed and conditioned to do what is acceptable, not necessarily what is lawful, what is expedient. We have been programmed to do it. And I want you to understand that this expediency, this acceptance, this way that we act and respond is from the white race. Their programming, their expediency is expected of us. Their programming and their expediency is expected of us. And we follow these things. This programming, this expediency, because the white man has said it. And because the white man has said it, it causes you and I to follow a plan that doesn't involve us, a plan that's not good for us, and a plan that was organized against us, organized against our success, organized against our equity, organized against our moral ways, organized against us totally. In other words, to deal in a knowledge that has no attachment to who we are as a people, no backwind to push us toward where we can go that is positive, and no kind of sail wind carry us in any direction that's profitable for us. So we want to get out of the mindset of following the white man and following his rules and working his job. We should be creating our own jobs and working amongst one another to imbue better resources for ourselves and better knowledge, better training for ourselves. And I'm saying this because it's the mindset that we have to have so that we won't be worried about those that are working for the man. You see, I want in you this mindset. The scriptures tell us to let the same mind that has been in Christ Jesus be in you. When they're saying Jesus, I want you to understand who Jesus really was. The old folks have a song that said Jesus was lowly, meek, and mild. He was not. The Bible does not support that, brothers and sisters. Even the white man Bible doesn't support that. But Jesus was aggressive. When you hear about people beating men out of the temple, Jesus had an army, 12 disciples. They were called the Sicarii men. The Sicarii men were people who carried around daggers. I'm not telling you to carry around a dagger. I'm telling you what the Sicarii men carried around. If they were here today, they would probably have guns. Now, I will tell you that you should have a gun to protect yourself. I should tell you that. If you got enough sense, you would probably keep it in the privacy of your loin or the privacy of your clothing or whatnot, and carry a concealed permit. Don't let the enemy know what you're doing, but you take the steps that you have to protect you, yourself, and your family. So, why? Because we have agents among us that are hiding in plain sight. Don't forget to like, brothers and sisters. Thumbs up, like, and subscribe to me, please, to make this what it ought to be for the people. This is the people's channel, your channel and mine, as we seek to deliver the lost, to save those who are otherwise suffering damnation. And we have to save them, brothers and sisters. We need to save their mind, save their heart, give them a new tongue, give them new ears, and give them a new nose and some new senses to figure out what's good and bad for the black man. And we have to understand what's good for the white man is bad for us. And we have to understand that what makes the white man happy will often make us sad. And if you don't believe that, then all you have to do is go back to the system of slavery. That's all you have to do. Because if you go back to the system of slavery, brothers and sisters, you'll quickly find out that whatever was good for the white man was bad for you. And if it's good for him, it can't be good for you, because if that's the case, you would have never been enslaved. I'm just trying to hip you, brothers and sisters, and tell you, what condition you're in. You're supposed to have voting rights. You still don't have it. You don't even have voting rights. Why don't you have voting rights? Why don't you have it? It's because the white man gave it to you. You don't have voting rights because the white man gave it to you. And it's crazy, because if the white man gave it to you, excuse me, brothers and sisters, if the white man gave it to you, you can always take it back. And that's the thing that you have to remember. If he gave it to you, he can always take it back. And so he can't give you the right to vote. Excuse me. He can't give you the right to vote. He can't give you human rights. He can't even give you civil rights. He can't even give that to himself. Can't even give that to himself. He had to steal it, put you in slavery to gain it. Man, I wish I had a witness. I said the man lied to you, put you in slavery to get all the rights that he had when he ran from a country that he didn't even have rights nor wealth. That's a fact. So if he came to a new land where England was outlawing slavery, if he came to a new land, then he could come to this land and be enslave people a little longer, and England would benefit from the money, proof of which she helped sponsor the slave trade in America and made money from it and is still taxing it today, which is great, the stock market. And I want you to know that you are the stock. You are the best stock that America had. I just want you to know that. And I'm saying it because we're setting a foundation. You and I are setting a foundation. We are setting a foundation. The foundation that we're setting is the fact that you've got whites and blacks that believe in the system, and it's a shame. It's really a shame. Believe in the system that is imprisoned you and I. And from that you have the boule, which is the black boule. From that these are blacks that are children of the master and have worked with the master, come with those families to keep you oppressed, because to keep you oppressed is better for them. But for you to get free is not good for them, because then they can't get any kickbacks for snitching and keeping you in bondage or putting you in a situation where you'll continue to stay in bondage. And that's the thing that you ought to know. You have to know it. You have to know it. And that's the thing that I want to tell you. Brothers and sisters, you'll never get peace waiting on a man to give it to you. He can't give you peace because he ain't got it. You'll never get justice waiting on some man to give it to you. Some man somewhere, some white man to give to you. You can't get justice if you ain't got it. You'll never get joy waiting on some man to give it to you. You can't do it. Can't do it, because if he ain't got it, then he can't give it to you. And you got to know that. I mean, it's plain and simple that if he ain't got justice, he can't give you justice. If he ain't got joy, he can't give you joy. That's plain and simple. And I, for one, don't understand why it's so hard for you and I to pick these things up as a people. Now, I know that there are many of us that have it, but I know that there are many more that don't understand. Don't understand the math that's going on. Don't understand the trouble that's going on. Don't understand the falling of the stock market that you and I are facing right now. Don't understand it. The cell phones are going out periodically now. In every city, you could see where cell phones are going out. You can see that. So you and I have to be concerned about building up the black community. And in doing that, we have to build black businesses. And I've already told you, in case you don't know, I've already told you that if you want to build a black business, all you have to do is clean up your front room in your house and make it out of a candy store. Or grab a closet in your house and make it out of a candy store. It's not hard. Any room that you want to dedicate to business, then you're able to do that. It's not hard at all. Not hard at all. And I want you to know it. I want you to understand, because it's not hard. It's not hard. So brothers and sisters, and excuse me, I'm trying to work two things at once to make sure that I can get the information out to you that you need. But brothers and sisters, if you understand it, all I need you to do is understand it. If you understand that you are the best answer to your sufferings, then, and if you believe it by faith, you have to believe it. You have to believe it. If you believe it by faith, then you're able to fix your situation. You're able to do it. So you have to believe it. You have to believe it. There's no way that you can believe this. No way. That you could be ready for what God is blessing you with if you don't get into the mindset that God is blessing you. The white man's not blessing you. See? He's not blessing you. And it's crazy because so many people believe that the white man is blessing them. I mean, hear this man who has put you in slavery, you and I in slavery, has sold you one of the best pipe dreams of freedom, which you don't have it. Sold you one of the best pipe dreams of voting, which you don't have it. Sold you one of the best pipe dreams of democracy, which you don't have it. And you believe him still. They even brought before you and I one of the best black actors that this world has ever seen. They described him as a middle-class brother so that we be able to identify with him. They even named him Barack Hussein Obama, whose name is really Barry Soweto, and gave him to us wrapped up in some of the finest saran wrap and shined him up that we thought that he was somebody who was there for us. Thought that Barack Obama was there for you and I. And that's true. Don't forget to like, brothers and sisters. Please. And it's crazy because here Barack Obama, who cared nothing for us, cared nothing for you or I, the white man sold him, packaged up, one of your own, that couldn't do anything for you, had no desire to do anything for you, but he sold the pipe dream. He sold it to you and made you believe that something was really going to happen. See, when you got a Barack Obama in office, black folks have become tired of these white people. I'm telling you, brothers, I know what I'm talking about. They become tired of Louis Farrakhan. They become tired. When you said, why do I use Farrakhan in the area of white people? Because he pushed white nationalism. Not pushing black nationalism. He pushing white nationalism. Anytime you say a white man is your friend, Father Flager, and you push out a fellow Muslim fighter for justice and peace, well, the man pushed out two of them. Malcolm was one and Dr. Khaled was the other. Farrakhan pushed them out. And at the same breath saying one day that white people will be allowed in the temple. I'm just telling you. So I'm building the framework, building the groundwork. That we have agents hiding among us. Agents working for the white man. The white man would never put anybody in front of you. I'll say this on every channel that I get in. He'll never put anyone in front of you that's going to do you any good. He won't put them in there in front of you today, and he didn't do it yesterday. He's not going to do it. And these agents that are hiding among us, such as the Breakfast Club, these are agents hiding among us. Somebody that the white man put in front of you to trick you up and trip you up. And when you look at, all you got to do is listen to the names. DJ Envy, Listen to the name. Charlemagne the God. Anytime the white man has a formula for a name or people's going to put in front of you, they're polished up agents and look like police. All you have to do is look at them. If you got any sense, you'll pay attention and look at the Breakfast Club. They're nothing but police. And we're going to talk about them tomorrow. We're going to talk about the Breakfast Club tomorrow. There's no way on God's green earth, or the green that's left, that I would ever sit here in front of you and never tell you the truth about agents that are hiding among us. The Breakfast Clubs are ones hiding among us. Now you look at Charlemagne the God, Angela Yee. Charlemagne has a record that they used against him. This brother had taken advantage of many of our young sisters. So every time he stands up, see, this is how you know when the police got some on you. Because they'll use it against you. That's how the federal government works. The Fed agents will get him to speak against every black person. I mean, every black person that is standing up saying something that makes sense. Proof of which, he spoke against Monique, and she was standing up. Now I know that Monique is wealthy, and she has just rich people's problem. That's what I call them. Rich people problem. But she at least stood up to tell the truth. She at least stood up to tell the truth. And so anytime a person does that, they're in for it. And when you stand up, you got to be ready. I said, when you stand up, you got to be ready. Because if you ain't ready when you stand up, then you're finished. You won't be able to recover from the fire that the devil is coming to put on you. You won't be able to recover. But if you're ready, then you can put some fire against the devil. And I mean put some real fire on his behind to make him stay in his place. And if you don't feed the energy of Satan, then you won't have to worry about him coming against you. And brothers and sisters, this is why I say, and I tell you to come out from among them, as the words in scripture say, come out from among them, O ye my people. We have agents. Anybody black standing in front of you that the white man is putting on every channel, such as the Black Lives Matter movers and culprits. These people are nothing but agents. And I've never seen any black organization that was serious about the advancement of black people from oppression that have been paid, that has been funded, that has been subsidized by the white man. Now all you got to do is look at that. Black Lives Matter. They're telling you the Black Lives Matter, and the minute they go marching, you see these white people coming in. The minute that you see white people marching with black folks because black folks are being killed, it shows you that the movement is a fake, a fraud, a phony. Why? Because it's like coffee. You've heard this analogy many times. When you're drinking coffee and it's hot and it's black, it can do the job that it's intended to do. Because the whole purpose of coffee is to wake you up. And brothers and sisters, you must admit that we have been asleep for the last 3,000 or 4,000 years, whereas we've let the white man come in, misuse us, abuse us, take our power, manipulate our culture and our ways, and we continue to welcome him in every day, every minute, every second, every hour, every year, every month of our lives, unfortunately. And so we've been asleep because we have been with this man that has did us so much harm, and we have bypassed the speech of people like the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who has given us the truth, the knowledge that would awaken us and build us up, raise us up from a dead level to a live one. We have misused the knowledge of Dr. E.C. Morris, who told the black man to build himself up from his own foundation, from his own teachings, and something that will make him proud to be black. We have misused the knowledge of great men like Marcus Garvey and Charles E. Mason that told you to build through self-will and self-determination. We've misused and overlooked the knowledge of John Henry Clark, who said that the black man's motion and momentum were dependent on how much he understands his history. And in the light that we haven't done this, in the light that we haven't studied our enemy and studied the way that he moves and how he breathes, in the light that we have not done these things, brothers and sisters, we fell in building up the black community. And we've looked to the white man, who is your and my enemy, who has always been your and my enemy, and expected something from him that we just can't get. Something from him that would go against everything that he set up. Oh, I wish I had a witness today, brothers and sisters. Go against everything that he set up to keep you in bondage. That's right. That's right, brothers and sisters. What am I saying today? I'm saying, and you're just too intelligent to miss it, I'm saying that the white man has created a situation to keep you in bondage. After all, why would the man come into slavery, or rather come into Africa to put you in slavery? You welcomed him in and he locked you up in the bottom of these boats, selling you off to some land you just don't know, and spewing you out like Jonah did, or rather the whale did Jonah, on a land that he didn't desire, where he had already noted and even told God that these people were evil. Why, don't you know, if Jonah knew these people were evil, that they couldn't be saved? You know, and I ask you to check this story of Jonah in Nineveh, because there are other writings that would disagree that these people could be saved. The white man can't be saved, brothers and sisters. Can't do it. God has brought Jonah there to save him, and you'll find out that after the death of Jonah, we're still dealing with the same contention toward this white man. It's the truth, brothers and sisters. It's the truth. We're still dealing with the same conditions that the white man has put us in. Jonah didn't want to go there because he knew that they couldn't be saved. And even when God had saved them, he knew that they wouldn't respect the God that had saved them from their evil. You look at Nineveh and look at the destruction of Nineveh, you'll see why Jonah didn't want to go. So, brothers and sisters, we have to listen to God. Do God's will of serving mankind, even when we know that they can't be saved. What is the job that God wants us to do? Bless you, brother Moneyball. Good to see you, brother. Assalamu alaikum. What does God want us to do? God wants us to stand still and see his salvation, teach his word. Teach his word, not the word of the enemy. The white man will try to get you and I, brothers and sisters, to fight against one another. Keep our eyes off the prize. What is the prize? Unity is our prize, brothers and sisters. How we have a unity and come together. That's our prize. That's mine and your prize. And we have to keep our eyes on the prize. Our eyes have to be on the prize to know that God has delivered us. Doesn't Ephesians 5:1 say, stand still in the liberty that you have been made free? God has delivered us and made us free, brothers and sisters. God has done that. And we have to stand in the liberty that God has made you and I free. We have to stand in the liberty that God, an awesome and powerful God, has in bondage given us the mindset to stand up and take our liberation. If you wait on the white man to give it, he'll never give it to you. And he has devised certain plans to keep you oppressed. If you go back to the plantation of that day, all you have to do is go back to the plantation. And you'll see that in that plantation mind is nothing new, brothers and sisters. That black people had plantation minds back then. The mind of the plantation, to follow the will of the master. Black people had it back then. And it's a shame that in 400 years we have yet to change the minds of our brothers and our sisters. We have yet to change their minds. We have yet to make them see that there's nothing on the plantation that's of any benefit to us. You see, when we were locked in Egypt, brothers and sisters, there arose a Pharaoh that knew not Joseph. What does that mean? This Pharaoh was white, who had aligned himself amongst black folks to take their system of democracy and twist it to do evil to the people of God. Oh, I wish you could hear me today. But brothers and sisters, that man ain't changed. I said that man ain't changed. He's the same way he was yesterday as he is today, and the white man doesn't change. You should know that. You should know that. He doesn't know anything about changing. That man ain't concerned with changing. He's considered and concerned with keeping you and I in bondage so that we can work his jobs. You don't hear me. I said so we can work his job and make him wealthy. Why don't you know that you stand as great of a chance in independent business to make it like the white man? Brothers and sisters, if you have the faith to believe. But to keep us down, we have to be careful because he has put agents among us. Who are some more agents that the white man has put among us? We've got, and I'm talking about the agents that matter. We got, because there's some agents that the white man has put among us that don't have any power, not any real power. And anytime he going through the barrel to get rappers, to help rappers explain our distress and have rappers to explain directions that we should go, you should already know that he's going down the wrong road and beating us with the wrong stick. And I say that because no serious revolution has ever happened with those that are being paid by the system that oppresses the people. No serious revolution has ever been made by the system that oppresses the people. So in plain, the rapper rap for the white man. He's paid for the white man, speaks for the white man, because you've never seen a rapper stand up, with the exception of Tupac, with the exception of the young man Nipsey Hussle, with the exception of the earlier Public Enemy and KRS-One, very few in the exception. Ron DMC. These guys had a message and a knowledge to stand up. Grandmaster Flash, stand up against the system. When they were rapping to stand up against the system. This is what they were doing. They wasn't around playing, saying rap words and then eating dinner with the enemy, like 50 Cent and T.I. and some of the others. I tell you, brothers and sisters, it's a shame when T.I. took Jane Elliott on his show. Took this devil on his show, brothers and sisters. It's a shame. And was thanking her for coming on the show to explain your and my grievance. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And this is the guy that they're saying to follow expeditiously. I ain't following no expeditious coon like T.I. and some of the other black people, such as Roland Martin, who has brought this lady on their show praising her. Praising her when Dr. Martin Luther King has died standing up for this. Minister Malcolm X have died standing up for this. Sister Betty Shabazz have died standing up for this. Sister Betty X, Sister Coretta King have died standing up for this. And you find these coons welcoming white women on their show when they wouldn't even welcome our sisters on their show to talk about the problem that we're facing. Won't even honor our black leaders that truly stood. And I'm not talking about Al Sharpton, because he's another coon. Devils. If they can infiltrate the Nation of Islam and can infiltrate black nationalist movement with people like Malik Zulu Shabazz, why you know they can infiltrate those sellout rappers. Sellout rappers. Selling you out. Selling you out, brothers and sisters. It's a shame. It's a shame. And we won't even talk about it. You got good brothers out there fighting. Master P is a good brother. He's out there fighting and trying to help black people build up their business. He's talking real sense, talking about business. But you can't get a chance to hear him and other positive people. You can't hear him because he's being drowned out by these black coons in the industry that are selling our people out. People like Jay-Z and Beyonce. I know that you're mad at me, brothers and sisters. I know it. I know that you're mad. I know that you're mad. I'm talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce, who don't give two rat tails about you, that if you're starving and the economy is in trouble, they really don't care. Because if they did, they would be rallying other black entertainers, black actresses, and creating businesses and agencies and credit unions that black people could go to be able to compete with all the white trashy credit unions and businesses that are in the black community. I'm just telling you what I feel. If you feel different, that's your business. I'm telling you what I feel. That's how you know they're not serious. Take another fake and phony like Louis Farrakhan, who could be talking about building black businesses. Black federal credit unions won't do it because he's paid not to. I told you, brothers and sisters, when he was brought in by the FBI and CIA. When you see Wesley Muhammad brought in by the FBI and CIA, you see Nuri Muhammad brought in, set up by the CIA and FBI. You look, there's another young brother coming up on the scene named Ben X. A good young brother, a fighter. And one thing about dedicated people, they always find out the truth. And you'll find it. You mark my words. We'll be talking about it when it happens. That Ben X one day will find out how fake and phony and fraudulent Minister Louis Farrakhan is and his followers, and he will be leaving the Nation of Islam. You mark my words. You mark my words. He's getting too close. If you look at his podcast, his stories, it's changing. He's taking a strong chance on monitoring and investigating the life of Louis Farrakhan, who others see otherwise as honorable. So I respect them when they say he's honorable, but I don't believe that he's honorable. I don't believe that, brothers and sisters. Because he's not saying anything to build up black business. So it can't be honorable. You're not building up black business. There's no way. No way that you can be considered honorable. So brothers and sisters, this is the message that me and the sister is bringing to you. That we have to have real people in the revolution that are standing up to build people up, because there are agents hiding among us in plain sight. Agents. And the minute they got Louis Farrakhan, killer of Minister Malcolm X, who gave the word and the signature to kill Minister Malcolm, gave the word and the signature to kill Khalid Abdul Muhammad. When you understand the history of James Best and how James Best was known as a killer in the Nation of Islam under Mr. Muhammad, and how this same James Best, with the help of the CIA, killed Minister Malcolm X, was part of that movement, also killed his own brother, his own blood brother. And if you do the research, you'll find out what I'm saying is true. When you search that and find out that that man didn't do a day in jail, as a matter of fact, he's still out of jail after these murders, running a church, still holding allegiance to Minister Louis Farrakhan. He wasn't arrested. Name one black man that has never been arrested for killing someone, and I'll show you an agent working for the federal government. So there are agents hiding among us in plain sight. And so I'm going to be talking about the Breakfast Club. I'm going to be talking about these sellout ministers of the CIA and FBI, such as Nuri Muhammad, such as Wesley Muhammad, and I'm going to prove it to you. Agents that had Dr. Khalid Muhammad killed, such as Malik Zulu Shabazz, I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove that we have agents among us, such as Minister Louis Farrakhan, who had not only Minister Malcolm X killed, but also had others killed, had other ministers killed. One of them shot in their driveway. One of them shot in their driveway, brother. A Muslim minister that decided to go on his own, working in the temple, going his own way. But they decided to kill him because there were agents within the Nation of Islam during the time that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was alive that were trying to destroy the movement. And they'll have you to believe that Muhammad tried to have Malcolm killed. Brothers and sisters, this is not true. The word was for them to leave Malcolm alone. That was the word, for to leave Malcolm alone. And Minister Malcolm was on his way back into the nation. But we have to talk about these agents, such as Al Sharpton, such as Benjamin Crump, such as Malik Zulu Shabazz, and all the others that are out in front of you. Agents of the white man to stagnate the movement. Another one, Professor Griff, a known agent and coon. Another one, is that, y'all call him Murder Mike, or whatever his name is, another agent, T.I., everyone that the white man put out in front of you to glamorize agents, the Breakfast Club, agents. And I'm going to explain this to tell you by fact and let you prove it. I mean, with facts and with receipts, so you would know, brothers and sisters. And James Best didn't go to jail. He didn't go. They killed two people, never spent a day in jail. And now he has a business that he's building up. I call it a business because that's the way he sees it. And he says he's under the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as it relates to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And brothers and sisters, we know that there's no truth in it. We know it. But the white man keep these people in front of you to keep you and I tripped up and locked up and keep us down. He put them in front of you. He will never, and you use this as a measuring stick, he will never put any black person in front of you like Dr. Khalid Muhammad, a brother that was committed to raising the expectations, raising the independence of black people. This man was committed. 1993, he did a speech, an honorable speech, out of respect for Minister Louis Farrakhan, and Farrakhan, under the orders of Bill Clinton, under the orders of a devil, a white devil, brought him down with a bullet by James Best. It didn't kill him. And James Best, after he was stumped to death by our brothers, they got him and wouldn't let him go. They were trying to stomp him to death. All praise be to God, the Father. And the devils came in and grabbed him. Anytime you see a black man being protected by the white police, killers of our people, put in the car and taken to the hospital and never arrested for the crime that he committed, brothers and sisters, you have to know that there's something fraudulent going on. And all you have to do is research it, and you'll find out that I'm telling you the truth. I say again, this same man killed his own brother and didn't do a day in jail. They found him guilty and arraigned him out the same day. You've known killers in your community that have killed black people, and the judge will have them out on work release. White man don't care nothing about black people killing black people. He don't care nothing about that. That's part of his design for us to kill one another, brothers and sisters. So I'm telling you that you have to keep your eyes open. I tell you, you sleep in a dangerous hour because we have agents among us in plain sight that is doing their master's will, and that means keeping you and I down, keeping you and I out. It means keeping you and I in a state where we don't grow, in a state where we're continually divided, when it's so easy for us to come together, brothers and sisters. As a matter of fact, if we come together, you and I, if we come together, there's nothing that man can do against us. Grandmaster J led a march, and I'm letting our sister come to talk to us, tell us what God has blessed her with. Grandmaster J came, sat in there, was an agent. I want you to understand this. Don't forget to like, brothers and sisters, and subscribe. Grandmaster J, an agent, was protecting Donald Trump. All you have to do is review and go back to one of the campaigns where this one person was going to attack Donald Trump. Grandmaster J was the federal agent standing behind Trump that was making sure that he had complete protection. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, all you have to do is type it into Google and you'll find out that this is true. At the same time, they were building him up to become this figurative black nationalist with all of these crazy uniforms. Have you ever seen anybody with those crazy uniforms with gold on the front of it and butterfly wings with samurai protection, samurai breastplates, weapons that weren't even loaded? The same trick that Malik Zulu Shabazz pulled. When we were marching with Dr. Collins, we kept a loaded weapon, brothers and sisters, because we didn't know when our last day was going to be. But they'll watch you and watch the move of the people around this plantation called America, this governmental plantation. And they'll see which way the moves are going, and they'll send somebody out there, false nationalists, like they're sending false prophets to mislead and to blind millions that will otherwise be an amazing force for us in this movement. You're going to be free, brothers and sisters. I tell you, you're free already. You just don't know it. But with the teaching and the organization and the plan and blueprint that Muhammad has, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has a blueprint that tells you to make your own business, to clean yourself up, to awaken yourself, to rise up yourself from a dead level to alive, and to come out of the tomb, he tells you and I to rise up, brothers and sisters. He tells you and I to rise up. And brothers and sisters, it's time for us to rise up so that we can be what God wants us to be. To come out of the tomb, come out of Jonah's fish, come out of the tomb, Lazarus, come out of the well, oh my people, black brothers and sisters that were swallowed by the wooden well and spewed out upon a land of plantationalism, a land of prison and debauchery, a land of pestilence, because the white man, the devil of this planet, otherwise known as Shaitan and Satan's child, had put you and I in bondage. Put you and I in bondage. Brothers and sisters, don't forget to like and subscribe. We need you. We need unity. We need peace. Because I tell you that this channel is your channel, and God is calling you and I out to stand up and do an amazing thing. That's to unite and to encourage black people that we can do for self and that we don't need any help from the enemy. That means we don't need any help from the enemy, but we can stand up and do for self. Brothers and sisters, I appreciate your patience. And our sister is going to come before us now to give us great knowledge and great word for what God has given to her. And I know that you'll give her your attention like you've given me yours. And I know that you know that no nation can rise any higher than its woman. And just as the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, that if we don't have women, then we're lost and we can't produce the answers that God has given us through our loins to make us free. And if you understand that, brothers and sisters, then you would know that when God is building us up as a people, and that through our loins, life is a blessing from God to help us build the community that God has given us for the future that we're about to face. That life is a blessing. So we don't believe in abortion clinics. We don't believe in taking our women to that devil, having him to birth us. But we have sisters that are raised, and sisters that are intelligent, and birthing our children at home and keeping them in a safe environment where the first arm that they'll touch is the mother, and the first sight they'll get is from the father. So brothers and sisters, our sister Joanna is coming to talk before us, and she's coming to speak on the subject as well, but give us the wisdom that God has given her to give to us. Brothers and sisters, if you please.
Greetings of peace, love, and enlightenment. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom, shalom. Moneyball says you remind me of the old school ministers that used to teach with Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Greetings, brother. Thank you for that honor. That's an honor. Thank you very much. All praise to Allah. Do appreciate your patience today. We are human beings as well. So we have to eat. We have to take care of our children. All right. Take care of ourselves. Right. So we did start a little bit late today. And I'm sorry, I just love my babies. I didn't want to let him go. He just fell asleep in my arms. It's so precious when they fall asleep, right? Now, our children are the future, most certainly. We're talking about agents standing out right in front of us. And this is in all type of organizations that we do have to be mindful of that. And it's an unfortunate thing because we are already under so much oppression. So it's an unfortunate thing that we do have to be on the lookout and be mindful and watchful, even with those who are also oppressed with us. It is a shameful thing, and, it can be stressful if you let it be. But, you almost have to treat it like, like a politician. You trust people to be who they are. Have to trust people to be who they are. And if you don't know who someone is, make sure you understand that you don't know that person. Okay. You can only vouch for what you know. Absolutely. You can only vouch for what you know. And there are some of us that do know and some of us that don't know and don't understand. And I want to talk a little bit about in the birth community as well. I'm not sure if many of you are aware, but infant and maternal mortality rates in this country, especially for Black families, is astronomically high. It's pretty ridiculous, and a lot of people aren't aware. So I just want to put that out there so that you are aware, and you can actually go look it up, look and see where your state is. The top 6 states, that's going to be Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. I would say those are about the top 6 states at the top of the list that have either the highest infant maternal mortality rates or the highest maternal mortality rates. And so what those are, I know I'm using big terms, but if you don't know what that is, mortality, that has to do with death. Okay. So these are the death rates of people that are dying during birth. All right. During birth. Okay. And if you don't understand what's going on, I just want to advise you, especially the sisters, to read Revelations 12. But anyway, so they are killing our Black women and our Black babies, in the hospital. If they're not killing the babies, they might, who knows what they're doing with some of the babies. You know, we think because we're good people, a lot of times we think that we want to see everybody else is good, but that's an error. You don't want to ever be walking around in life with rose-colored glasses on. You don't want to ever be walking around thinking that everybody else is like you, because they're not. What I've had to learn is that most people are not. Most people are not like me. And you have to accept that so that you can see people for who they are and not be in denial. Yeah. And not be in denial about who people are. And then you don't have to worry about being hurt. You don't have to worry about being tricked, being deceived, and somebody scamming you. You understand? Because you went in with the understanding that maybe you don't know that person, or you went in with the understanding that, hey, this person's good at this, but they do this, or hey, I understand this person, they may do anything for some money. Okay, you have to understand that. Some people have a price and some people don't, and you have to try people to find out. I like to try everybody. My husband will tell you I don't trust nobody until they've proven themselves trustworthy. And that's because of my life experience at this point in my life, I'm very grateful for. Before, I was always made to feel like this is a bad thing. We live in a nation, an abusive culture that will have you think that you not trusting people is bad. There's something wrong with you because you don't automatically trust strangers. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? The moment you say, well, I don't trust people. Well, you shouldn't trust people. People aren't trustworthy. People aren't trustworthy in general. You have to try people. You have to listen to what people are saying. You have to test people and test what they're saying and take what they're saying and research what they're saying and dig deeper into what people are saying and what people are presenting to you. Because I find out a lot of times, a lot of people that's out there in the spotlight are copying somebody else that's real, that nobody even knows who they are. And it's very likely. And they're copying things, and a lot of times they don't even know what they're talking about. But I'm getting a little bit off track a little bit. So I was telling you about the infant and maternal mortality rates. And that happens in the birth community as well. I know we have some brothers on here, so you just bear with me because this is important for you too. Because you need to understand this, and you need to make sure whatever woman you're bringing children in the world with understands this information and understands that her life is in danger. Understands that we are targeted as Black people, especially Black women, and our children are the most vulnerable, especially during birth. There is no time a woman's ever more vulnerable than she is when she's giving birth. And you're vulnerable spiritually, you're vulnerable physically, and you need to be protected, and you need to be in a safe environment. And being around your enemy is not a safe environment. And many of us don't understand that, and that's why so many are still dying. And we have a lot of organizations by our own people supposedly combating this issue. And I'm not saying that to run anybody down into the ground, but facts don't lie. Facts don't lie. And if you have these organizations working so hard to combat this issue and the issue's getting worse, what does that tell you? You can't combat an issue that is existing because of racists and a racist white system, which the hospital system is created by these people and was created against you in the first place. You can't tell me that you're going to just reform the system, or you're going to find a way to work with the system to help our people. You're going about it all wrong and all backwards. It's backwards. The best thing that we can do for ourselves as Black women is take accountability for our own health, Take accountability and be competent when it comes to our own bodies and giving birth to our own babies. All right. You have to be competent. And I know people say, I hear people all the time say, that's radical, girl. You radical, girl. No. And you brave. No, you brave. You brave and you radical. That you going to go and trust these people who killing you. Especially those of y'all who know they killing us. Now, that's just, I just don't understand it. And you have a lot of people out here now telling you that they're doulas and their midwives, et cetera, and and I just gotta tell it like it is. I know y'all, some people gonna be mad at me for telling it like it is, but the truth of the matter is, a lot of them don't know squat, don't know nothing, and a lot of them have been certified by your enemy, and a lot of them, even the ones who are aware and do love their people, once they get that license and that certification, there's just certain things they cannot do without putting themselves at risk of going to jail or losing their livelihood. And we have to understand that. You have to understand that when you go and hire a certified nurse midwife, that she is required by law to do certain things that they have told her to do, whether it's best for you or not. And you have to understand that. And you have to know. You have to be competent when it comes to your own body, because we're not living in a time where anything out here is working for our best interests. So we have to work for our best interests, and we have to make sure that we surround ourselves with people that are going to work in our best interests. Because there's a lot of people out here that are willing to do anything for money. You got a lot of people out here pretending that they know things and they're experts and they can help you with this or help you with that and don't have a clue. So you need to know. Because if you know, at least to a certain extent, then you'll be able to, when somebody start running their mouth, you'll be able to say, okay, she knows what she's talking about, or she don't know what she's talking about. But if you don't know nothing, you leave yourself vulnerable. You leave your own self vulnerable. And if you can't help yourself, can't nobody else help you. And I do advocate for free birth. If you are healthy, for those who don't know what that is, that's giving birth without a medical professional there at the birth. And yes, you can give birth to your own child. In every state, you can give birth to your own child at home. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. It's your body. What can they do about it? Nothing anybody. That's the only safeguard that you have, is to take care of your health and make sure you're healthy so you can give birth to your own child. And if you are healthy, see, they done scared y'all with all kind of fear tactics, with everything. You were scared to stand up for yourself. You were scared to fight back. You were scared to stand up for somebody. You see somebody being oppressed. You see somebody being shot out in the street. I mean, we're our worst enemy. You've got to stand up for yourself. Your enemy ain't going to stand up for you. There's no savior coming to save you out of this hell. No savior coming to save you out of this hell. You're going to have to save yourself. The work has already been done for you to save yourself. And brothers, you need to be competent too. Especially if you decide you want to bring some babies into the world. You need to be competent. You need to know what that means. You need to cover that sister. If she's unhealthy and she has to go to the hospital, you need to be there to make sure she's safe, brother. Our women are dying out here. Don't wait till it's yours. Your baby, your child. Don't wait till it's yours. It's enough stories. It's enough stories. Don't let it be you. Don't let it be yours. Don't let it be anybody around you. Have enough love for our future as a people to not let it be anybody around you ignorant of the fact that Black women and Black babies are dying out here in these hospitals. We talk a lot about police brutality because that's in the media. Nobody's in the hospital with a camera showing y'all. Our Black women are being taken out silently. Our babies are being taken out silently. Nobody's putting this on the news. So we need to be aware and we need to be able to tell folks what's going on. When you see a sister pregnant, I want you to be able to ask her, hey, sister, who's covering you? Who you have covering you when you give birth to this baby? Where you gonna give birth at, girl? What's your birth plan? If she say she going to the hospital, you need to let her know. Not to scare her, but she needs to know. The website, you can go to the website and find out what the rates are in your state. You can look it up by demographic. I have the link on the website, thebirthguru.org. I just typed it in the chat. thebirthguru.org. O-R-G. You can go to that website, and I have a link on there where you can see the infant mortality rates or the maternal mortality rates for your state. And you can go and search and look at it by demographic. And you'll see how ridiculous it is. Black women dying compared to white women. And research has already been done. It's not because we're stressed. Yes, we are stressed to freak out. It ain't keeping us from getting pregnant, and it shouldn't be keeping us from giving birth. The Creator is wise. If you're not in a healthy state, it's very unlikely that you're even going to get pregnant if you're not healthy enough to carry that baby. That's why a lot of women have fertility issues, because they're not healthy. And they're not in a healthy state of mind either. Sometimes that's a part of the problem. So I'm saying this to say, if you had no problem getting pregnant, you should have no problem giving birth. Now, some of you have health issues. And a lot of times what I've learned too is that a lot of people who have the most birth complications are those people who have had trouble getting pregnant in the first place. So you didn't even deal with those issues that kept you from getting pregnant. And during your pregnancy, you're not making sure you're doing what you need to so you can be healthy enough to give birth to this baby. It's going to take endurance. It's going to take endurance. It's going to take nutrients from your body. It's going to challenge you to your physical max. And you have to be healthy and ready for that. It's going to challenge you to your spiritual max. You don't want demons and devils around you while you're giving birth. It's the worst thing you can do for your child and yourself. This is why a lot of women end up with postpartum depression. Many times. I've been doing my own research on it. And I have not met one woman yet that has told me she has postpartum depression and she didn't have a bad birth experience. Not one. Not one. All of them, at one point or another, surrounding their birth, had some demons and devils around them. You can't go through a rite of passage. That's what giving birth is for a woman. You can't go through a rite of passage with the devil standing beside you and think you're going to come out the other side with the keys to the kingdom. Now, we got to stop being so delusional. We got to be honest with ourselves. That being said, I understand the fear behind it. Talk to me, ladies. Talk to me personally. Our enemy has us afraid of everything. everything. We're afraid of everything, anything that's natural. Some of us are afraid to go out in the sun, honey. We're afraid to breathe the air. Afraid to breathe fresh air. Best thing for your lungs. Afraid to put our feet on the grass. You think it's better for your feet to be standing on some cement than the grass. Look, I'm telling you. And I'm not trying to get on anybody. I'm just making a point. Just making a point. We got to get back to what's natural. We've been birthing our babies for a very long time without the help of these people. A very long time. Matter of fact, we've helped them birth their babies. And the little bit that they do know, they wouldn't know without the help of us, our midwives, who did everything naturally. There to usher you through that rite of passage. And now they've practically made it illegal for our granny midwives to even attend births in most of these states. You've got to get their certifications now. And when you get their certifications, you're obligated to do things their way. So a lot of times, if you even have a midwife, you better try to find you a revolutionary midwife who's not afraid to risk her license and, you know what I'm saying, and how she know you to worth the risk. So it's a real situation. It's real out here in the birth community. And I know a lot of people aren't aware unless you're in the birth community. And unfortunately, a lot of people in the birth community aren't there for the right reason. They're trying to line their pockets the same way the white man's trying to line his pockets. Birth is big business. Big business. You don't even need to go to the hospital. They got you thinking you need to go automatically because you're pregnant. And you don't even need to go. If you're healthy, what are you going for? For somebody to tell you how healthy you are? I mean, you can go and get your test done. You can do those tests yourself. Every test that gets done in the hospital, you can do yourself. It's easy. It's so easy. As easy as you think it might be, I'm going to tell you it's probably 10 times easier than that. So what if something happens? What if something happens? What if an emergency occurs? And you have a plan for that emergency? You be ready. There's only a couple things that could happen if you're healthy during the birth. A couple things that you need to be prepared for. And you can be prepared for them. I do offer a free birth class. I do offer a class for everyone. Brothers, sisters, student midwives, doulas. Take the class. Take the class so we can actually save some lives. Let's save some lives and stop doing the bare minimum because we're afraid to stand up. I'm not afraid. You know, I'm not afraid. I'm not accountable. I'm not accountable to any devil. I'm accountable to God. I'm accountable to my people. I'm accountable to my husband. I owe it to my children. Because they got to grow up with your children. All right. So I do offer a free birth class and a book. Free birth book as well. The first edition. There will be a second edition soon. And you can get that from the website, www.thebirthcrew.org. All right. But we do have to be careful out here. Have to be careful out here. Everything glitter and gold. And you have to be competent. You have to know. And I'm big on teaching people to know for themselves. Know for yourself. Research for yourself. Understand for yourself. The moment you say to yourself, this is beyond me being able to learn or to know. The moment you say that, You've given your power away. You have made yourself vulnerable. And when it comes to your life and your children's life, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Mm-mm. You know, Serena almost died in childbirth. You can look that up. Google it. Serena almost died in childbirth. And she would tell you it was not it was not on her. They were going to kill her. They were going to kill her, and she knows it. She gives money to birth organizations. She does. Black maternal health. Black maternal health. It's big money. Unfortunately, people like me aren't getting any of it because I'm too real. And what I'm doing is way too unorthodox for what people want to accept. But it's the solution. It's the solution. I mean, that's why people are still dying even more than they have been. Because nobody really want a real solution. They want to, tiptoe around the issue. White people are killing us in the hospitals. They're killing Black women and Black babies, innocent, during birth. Most precious time in a human's life. Most vulnerable time in any human's life. That male child and that mama. And the female child. And the man too, if he loves his woman. Peace, Donna. How you doing? Peace. Make sure you share this information because there's a lot of people who don't know. Share the information. Share the information. And my organization is looking for volunteers in your local area. We need volunteers in your local area. There's so many people who don't know this. I'm not making it up. Go to the website. Pull it up yourself. Pull it up yourself. They're telling you. They're telling you. They're telling you that they're killing you. All you got to do is look and see. They're telling you. All I did was put the link on my website for you to click it and look what they said. Look at how many of us they said are dying. We're in a first world country. And we have the best equipment here in America. That's a fact. We have the best medical equipment here in America. The best. And out of all the developed countries, we have the most people dying during birth. The most. And guess what? White women compared to other white women in other countries, the rate is the same. So don't let them lie to you about that. The rate is the same for white people here, white women in other countries. So they try to mix it together. Oh, they just say the maternal mortality rates. Well, no, really, it's Black women. That's it. White women ain't dying at astronomical rate. It's just us. It's just us. It's just us. And it's because they killing us. And those who know about it ain't got enough sense to tell people the truth that white people are killing us. Hey, I'm telling you the truth. White people killing us. They're killing us in the hospitals. Stop going. Stop going. Learn what you need to do. Learn what you need to do to be healthy and have a healthy, sacred birth. Do that for yourself. Do it for your child. Do it for the future of our people. They killing us. Trying to even the playing field. Because they can't have babies. Because they're dying. Because their time is up. Don't be a casualty. I want to prevent as many casualties as possible. I really do. I don't want any of y'all to be casualties anymore. I really don't. Like I said, the book is out there. If I didn't know what I was talking about, I wouldn't have written a book about it. That's on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles for these white folk to come for me using my book. So I must know what I'm talking about. You can't stand up on a lie, but I can stand on the truth. I've done it 3 times.
That's right, sister.
I've birthed all 3 of my babies myself.
That's right.
My first child, I gave birth to my first child, who's now 6 years old, in a cabin we were written in the mountains.
That's right.
That was my first birth. I free birthed my child. I did not have a birth professional there. I didn't have a midwife there. I didn't have a doula there.
That's right.
I did have a sister there who needed a place to stay, just in case there was an emergency.
That's right.
Who learned a lot from me, who was training and wanting to be a doula. I think she might be a doula now.
That's right.
I initially trained to be a doula. I took a few classes. I took some classes. I took some courses. But I had my best learning experience at attending births. And the first birth I attended, all praises due to Allah, was a free birth.
That's right.
The sister and the brother knew what they were doing. And they taught me. They took their little neonatal resuscitation class just in case. And I was inspired to learn.
That's right.
I was inspired to learn. My second baby, I gave birth to her in my grandmother's shower. No, did not have any birth complications, any issues. And my third one, I gave birth to him in the birth pool. In the birth pool. He was a doozy to push out. He's a big boy. He's huge. But it was a wonderful experience. Life-changing. And the bond you have with your children when you're the first person they see when they come out. There's a huge difference. And everybody in the free birth community will tell you, yeah, there's a whole community. There's a whole community. You can go to that website, join our Facebook discussion group. Join the community. Learn. Brothers, if you're married, you and your wife can join and learn. You and your wife can take the class and learn. All right. I think Brother Minister's ready to take the mic back. And I appreciate you all listening to me. All right. And y'all keep fighting hard and traversing on the path. Share the information, okay? So that we can save some lives. It's important. We got to start caring for black women again. We got to start caring for our children again. We live in a culture now that is so anti-life, anti-creation, anti-our children, anti-black women. It really is. It really is. And we've got to do something different. We got to do something about it. Love you guys. Love you too, sis. Black power. All right, let me lay you down.
My God, brothers and sisters, I just salute our sister. I just salute her. She's powerful. Greetings unto you. Greetings unto you, Sister Donna Sharif, and others that may have come on. Black power to us. Black power to our sister for her wonderful teaching and her dedication. Our sister is dedicated. This is the reason why, brothers and sisters, you see me have her to come on, because the power and the teaching is just running all through that sister like gas through a powerful motor engine. And our sister is standing up and standing out, and she's a living example of what's being taught. A living example of what's being taught. And so I'm so thankful. I'm wiping my mouth, y'all, because I've had a little bite to eat, but I'm so thankful that the sister is standing up and standing out for God, standing up and standing out for her community. And brothers and sisters, if you don't have this book, please get it. And she's put the information down so that you can get it. And I tell you, it's a powerful book. It changed my life. Changed my life. And I'm thankful that the sister is somebody that I have a family with and a future. I'm so thankful for that. I'm so happy that you all get a chance to meet the sister. Because it's such a wonderful blessing. Black Power, Black Seminole. Greetings, brother. Greetings. I appreciate you. And thank you certainly for the warm support and respect for the sister. Because brothers and sisters, we need all of us. We need all of us. We can't do it unless we have all of us. It's going to take you and I on this journey, on this path, as God works through us. Don't let the white man tell you that God isn't real. God is real because he lives, great God, in my soul. And you have to know that the power of an awesome, mighty God is a power that is more real than anything that you could find on this earth. He's more powerful than cocaine. He's more powerful than alcohol. He's more powerful than illicit sex. He's more powerful than anything you could think on this earth. To give you a high, I'm so happy that when I'm with God, and that's every day, minute, week, second, year, month of my life, that I'm always on a high. I've always have the feeling that I can never be brought down because I know that God is with me. His rod and his staff comfort me all the days of my life. And bless God, brothers and sisters, I can dwell in the house of the Lord forever because he's that kind of God. And we are thankful. I thank God that we have someone to understand our cry and pity, our every groan, and teach us and awaken us and rise us up from death to life. Bring us out of the dark dungeons of these tombs that the white man has created to keep us down and yet bring us up. As the teachings for the black man goes, that we are rising up and that the man's America has fallen. The man's system has fallen. His safety has fallen. Babylon the Great has fallen, and God is bringing you and I up. My God, bringing us up that we may stand in these last and evil days with hope. That when we have the new earth and the new world, I want you to understand that there's no white Jesus coming back to save you. Oh, I think I better say that again. I think I better say that again, brothers and sisters. I said there's no white Jesus coming to save you. Huh? No white Jesus is coming to save you because you don't even know that Jesus isn't white. My God. But Revelations 1:13 says that he has eyes, the flame of fire. He has hair like lamb's wool. He has in his voice, the voice of rivers of water. His feet is as tarnished brass that has been burned and singed in the fire. Tarnished brass, brothers and sisters, is black. My God. And so God is pulling the wool off of the eyes of the believer. I say he's pulling the wool off of the eyes of the believer. And who are the believers? The black man and woman of this planet who has been forced into bondage, who has sailed in the belly of a whale and was spewed out on a land of oppression and punishment. No, Jonah didn't want to go to that land, but Jonah was needed in that land to sanctify it for the holy day of salvation. But Jonah had known that these people cannot be saved. Don't you know that you can't save the white man? Don't you know just as Jonah went into the belly of the whale for 3 days and was spewed out, that God sent his son Jesus to go in the belly of the earth, in the tomb, to be risen and spewed out in 3 days? Don't you know that you were on a ship on a reckless course where you were there for 3 months and spewed out of that wooden belly after 3 months on the shore? Don't you know that, brothers and sisters, that on the 3-month journey that you were lost and locked on a course to nowhere, because even the captain of that whale didn't know where he was going? My God. So much so that the man is told a lie when he said that Columbus discovered America. Then he said he discovered South America when Columbus didn't know his front from his back. So the man has been lying to you to put you in captivity the whole time. He don't even desire salvation, but that's his lie to keep you from waking up and realizing that he's the devil of the planet, the torturer of the globe, the killer of all things good, the destructor of all life. The white man is truly the devil of this planet. And he come to steal, kill, and rob, but God come that you may have life and have that more abundantly. Brothers and sisters, I want to thank you for the time that you've given me. I want to thank you. And remember that we have the books. We ask you to purchase them because these books help us in our broadcast. These books help us in our daily lives where these devils have come against us to try to attack our business, try to attack our living, and they've taken so much from us. And so we ask that you support us. Support us. Buy a book. If you can donate anything to our Cash App, Liberation Group, you'll see the support signature at the top where you can support. Whatever you can send, we're thankful. Now, brothers and sisters, I want you to know that me and the sister are not begging because we have something for what we're asking you for. We have something. So we ask you to accept as our token of appreciation our books. We ask you to accept as a token of our appreciation us coming to you every day and every week, that you will be able to get this lesson and be able to enjoy the work and the words that God has put in between us. We ask you to do that. And we're thankful, brothers and sisters, certainly thankful for everything that you would do. And I ask that you would give, knowing that your giving is not in vain. And get these writings and these books, irregardless of your donation. Send us your email. Send us your email. And no matter how small the donation is, we want to send you that so you can study and read it and understand this knowledge that Muhammad was talking about. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was given message to the black man by God. Only God could give him that message. The white devil will have you to believe that Muhammad didn't give that message. Brothers and sisters, this is not true. This is not true. But the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave the message, and God had given the message prior to him to Garvey, had given it to Noble Drew Ali, had given it to E.C. Morris of the Baptist Church, had given it to Charles E. Mason of the Church of God in Christ. God had given us these teachings, given us these lessons, given us the message, brothers and sisters, so that we can give the message back to you. And there's no sense in changing or adding anything to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because God had given him a message that was fitting for the black man, a message that will awaken us, a message that will raise us up and teach us how to live a life of righteousness and teach us how to stand in the holiness of God and to do things for ourselves, to do for self, with a do for self mentality. And that's the kind of teaching that God has given the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad to give to you and I. So, brothers and sisters, we have to stand up and be real and be ready for what God has blessed us to do. And we have to be always ready to do the will of God. And what is the will of God, brothers and sisters? The will of God is that you and I will go to that brother or sister that is down, cast down, brother or sister that is in prostitution or pimping, or the brother and sister that is selling drugs, the brother and sister that are on drugs, on alcohol, whatever it may be, heroin, whatever this thing may be, whatever the demonic drug may be, and to go to them and to extend to them the love of God, which is found within us, the children of God, to tell them that this is not your path, to tell them that God loves them, to tell them that God has a place for them in his kingdom. And what is the kingdom of God? Brothers and sisters, it's not an invisible kingdom, but the kingdom of God is among you. They said, where is the kingdom of heaven? They asked Jesus, and Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is among you. So I want you to know that, my brothers and sisters. Brother Demetrius, we thank you, brother. Saying hello to Brother Demetrius for joining us in the show. And just know that God is the only salvation for us today amid the devils that we're dealing with on a daily basis. And that God can deliver us and will deliver us in this time period. That is the God that has imbued you and I with power. And Jesus said, if I have done great things, shall you not do greater things? So brothers and sisters, I'm so excited and I'm so happy and so elated and so thankful that God, only an awesome and powerful God, has given us a message in a time such as this. And we don't teach a message of end telling you to pray for something and hoping and wishing for it. No, my brothers and my sisters. But we give you a message that God has given us, that you will help God in building and fulfilling for his kingdom on this earth. What is the new earth? An earth where men and women have learned to respect and follow the law of God, where men and women will not be afraid of the white man, but will be afraid of God. Salam alaikum, my dear brother Demetrius. Salam alaikum. And so, brothers and sisters, we leave you in peace as we brought you in peace. Saying the peace of God be with you. In Arabic tongue, this means assalamu alaikum. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. We're hoping to get to the half mark of 500 people so that we can work on the other 500 to get that 1,000 that we be able to do on this show and for this show the things that we would like to do. Now, brothers and sisters, I ask you to be encouraged and stay with God and get on God's side, because God is on your side. Get on God's side so God will be on your side. Assalamu alaikum.